South Africa, Thursday, December 9th, 1982. Under cover of darkness, in the early hours of Thursday morning, a force of over 100 South African commandos made an airborne attack on African National Congress refugees living in exile in Maseru, capital of Lesotho. Firing machine guns and hurling grenades, some disguised in Basotho blankets, their faces blackened, the attackers unleashed death and destruction as they laid waste 12 selected targets in the residential areas of the city. With the approaching dawn, the raiders were airlifted out of Lesotho's capital, leaving behind a trail of devastated buildings, a shattered community, and a stunned nation. The South African Defence Force claimed a preemptive military victory against ANC bases in Maseru and issued the following statement. There can be little doubt that those killed in the attack were hardened ANC terrorists who were planning to carry out sabotage and terror in South Africa. Shocked eyewitness accounts told a different story. Most of the victims had been slaughtered in their beds. Others were taken outside and shot. The dead included 5 women and 2 children. Stunned by the horror of this onslaught, Red Cross worker Lorna Guthrie gave a first-hand account of the aftermath of the attack.
Then I noticed the windows were broken and the frames charred. Inside, smoke rose from a pile of debris, which included a human hip bone. The man in the house had been taken by South African soldiers, wrapped in a blanket and set on fire. The house had then been devastated by incendiary devices. In another house, 3 small children owe their lives to their 13-year-old sister. She made them lie on the floor and put a mattress over them, and then lay on the mattress. When the soldiers came in, she was shot and killed. The 3 younger children were not found and survived. In another house, soldiers stormed the building and killed the wife. They then went to the bed, pulled back the blankets, and found a 4-year-old child alone there. He was shot and killed. The father was then killed in another room.
A total of 42 people, including 5 women and 2 children, lose their lives in the onslaught. In the ghetto townships of South Africa, the black community is outraged. Of the 42 people killed, 12 are Basotho citizens, 3 South African students, and 27 African National Congress exiles, refugees living openly in Maseru with their Basotho neighbors. In a similar raid in January 1981, South African Defence Force commandos crossed into Mozambique, killing 30 African National Congress exiles at Matola, 15 kilometers outside of the capital city of Maputo. The victims of these terror raids are exiled members of the black South African community, forced to seek refuge in the neighboring African states of Lesotho, Swaziland, Botswana, and Mozambique. With the increasing intensity of state reprisals aimed at suppressing the growing resistance to the apartheid design within the country, the flow of young black exiles from South Africa continues. In Lesotho alone, there are 11,500 South African exiles registered with the United Nations High Commission for Refugees. For black South Africans, December the 16th is Heroes' Day, the commemoration of those who have died in the struggle for liberation in South Africa. Taking place in the shadow of recent bloodshed, this year it is a day of mourning, a painful revelation of the violent horror of escalating civil war.
We have met this morning
At St. Augustine's Chapel in Orlando East, Soweto, Reverend Buti Klagale leads the service.
so much to mourn the slaughter of our fellow countrymen on a foreign territory. but once more to rededicate ourselves and to commit ourselves to this business of ours of regaining this land. And so this morning, for this couple of hours, we will call on God's name. We will seek inspiration. We will strengthen one another. Because this is a time of war, and that we cannot run away from.